Making art like this is so much easier than you think. Today we're going to water marble and make an array of art. My name is Brittany Bly, this is Pop Shop America, and let's get crafty. Now here are all the supplies that you need for your water marbling art. I have this large tub that's full of water. This is just room temperature, slightly cool water. Just make sure it's not too hot or ice cold. I have gloves right here. We have these Marabu water marbling inks. Now it's really important that you use a specific brand. I'm using Marabu for this project, so you're gonna wanna use the same thing as me. Each brand might be slightly different. I have a set of colors and then an individual color right here. I have some wooden skewers right here. You could also use toothpicks, metal skewers, but I have some wooden skewers. Now I also have some paper. Right here I have printmaking paper, and then I also have watercolor paper right here as well. Now I have full-size sheets, but you could also consider things that are larger, smaller, cards, envelopes. There's so many different things that you can dip and make with this water marbling technique. Last, you're gonna need some little pieces of junk paper or cardboard. This is to skim any unused water marbling ink off of the surface to make a fresh surface, and that's everything. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put on our gloves. So let's go ahead and open this up and prep the surface and just make sure they're all easy to use. Now before I open these up, I want to leave the lids on, and I'm just going to go ahead and shake all of them. Since I'm going to be using these colors back and forth interchangeably, I'm just going to shake them all right now. Now we're ready to start marbling. So grab any of your first colors and use about 10 to 15 drops. Now, one of the quirks that you might run into is if you don't make a good foundation, first color, first layer, you might not achieve the results that you're looking for. Once you have your first layer in there, then you can just start to add additional colors anywhere along the surface. You can add more color inside of the first color or second color, or add them anywhere else you like. Now, once you have a surface that you're happy with, take your wooden skewer, swirl it as you like. Now, see how it's starting to collect right there? Now, that's because you actually only have about 90 seconds to 2 minutes to alter your surface, to swirl these colors around. You need to work quickly. Once you have a surface that you like, take your art and dip it in. And voila. Now set this in a safe place, a place where this is not going to be ruined, and a place that you're not going to ruin anything else. And you're going to need to let it set and dry for at least 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. During that time, let's go ahead and do some more pieces. So first we're going to take our piece of cardboard, swirl it across the surface, and you see how it's collecting any of that junk, any of that leftover paint. And we'll just go ahead and remove this and set this to the side. Now, this first piece that I made right here is printmaking paper. So let's go ahead and use some of our watercolor paper. Let's also try to work in a different pattern. Now we can dip across the surface. Another thing you can do is if your tank is deep enough, you can actually just dip it right in like that. But this is also a really cool way to just make an edge, make a border that you like. Now, if you have any ends like this, you can just peel them right off. And let's dip the other side, and we'll make a cool piece of stationery. Now look at that. I could potentially write in the center, use this as a letter, and now I've made these gorgeous edges. Now to make our next piece, let's make sure that we grab our little piece of cardboard, swirl it across the surface to remove any of that excess. And now we're ready to make a new piece. Now let's say that we want to make something a little bit different. You know, maybe we want to make a bookmark or something small, something that's giftable. You can cut your watercolor paper into any shape, any size. Again, you can use pre-made envelopes, pre-made cards, so many different things. You can even dip other objects. Planters, you can dip ceramics, you can dip glass. We'll show you some other things you can dip and cool techniques like using washi tape in this video right here. But for now, let's go ahead and dip some interesting shapes. So I've got some fun little cutouts right here. Now let's not even swirl it this time. Let's see what happens when we don't swirl it. I'll dip it right in. And let's submerge it all the way to make a two-sided piece of art. Now we'll just need to be really careful about where we let this set to dry. And one more time. Submerge it, this time part way, just so we get one side, and pick it right back up. Now what's wonderful about this is every single piece you make is going to be a little bit different. It dries fast. You can make really professional, beautiful pieces. Now, after these have set for 15 minutes, you can go ahead and touch them, but they're not going to be ready to use for 24 hours. For that, we need to let them dry completely, cure completely. That process will take 24 hours.